Hey, gun people. I'm telling you, man, I do not know what it is about freaking cops nowadays. It is outrageous the way they treat people. And, I mean, look, these guys are supposedly trespassing. They had to call their own private property. So they're parked in a church. Last time I heard, churches were kind of like some sort of sanctuary to where you could go there and you were welcome. Evidently, this church isn't. So they're parked in the parking lot, and this cop, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, here.
It's cold out. It's cold. Please don't smash the window.
Please don't smash my window. I don't want to reach
Please
down.
stop. Please stop. What do you need?
So the guy, this guy with no hair, he wants some ID. I believe the courts have already ruled, as long as you roll the window down enough to communicate and to provide information or transfer your license, you don't have to roll your window all the way down. And again, when you get into this police state to where they're trying to, oh, he rolled his window down and I thought I smelled marijuana. Or he rolled the window down and I thought I smelled alcohol. Get out of the car. I have to do a test. Get out of the car. So people now, wisely, don't want to roll down their window. I mean, when you make everybody a freaking enemy, they don't want to freaking deal with you because they know you're just going to try and screw them over. So this guy threatens to bust their window out, even though the window is cracked. Now, look, I think this is a lawful detention. It's on private property. If he got a call, they're on private property, they're trespassing, that's a crime. He can ID them. And they don't want to give their ID. So he's kind of got the law behind him, but he's going about it like a freaking jerk.
What do you want? Are you...
Can you help?
Can you help me, please?
What's going on?
I need you to identify yourself. I don't think you're back here on private property.
Okay.
Right, so
What's the reason why you're trying to identify us?
Because you could be wanted.
Okay. But do you have a lawful reason for the stop? Do you have a reasonable articulable suspicion?
Did he say because you could be wanted? I didn't hear that before. Let me turn this up.
Okay.
Right, so
What's the reason why you're trying to identify us?
Because you could be wanted.
Because you could be wanted. So I want to ID you not because of a crime, because you could be wanted. That sounds an awful lot like communism, to where I can ID anybody and I can just run around and infringe on your rights anytime I want because you may be wanted. This is this cop, it's just crazy.
Okay. But do you have a lawful reason for the stop? Do you have a reasonable articulable suspicion?
So this guy's the supervisor. So when you ask for a supervisor, he says, I'm the supervisor.
You gonna give me your IDs or not?
What crime do you suspect us of committing?
Give me your IDs now.
So, look, I get it. When you're a cop and you're trying to deal with something and somebody's in the car going blah, 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 making you follow the rules, making you abide by the law, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's kind of your job. I mean, if you don't want to be frustrated and follow rules and the law, probably law enforcement isn't for you.
Suspect that there's a crime being committed?
Do you want to keep this window, yes or no? Because I'm about to bust it out if you don't start giving me...
So we threaten violence and destruction of your property. I mean, this guy, why can't he just say, I don't know, the cops will be here, Ricky, try. Why can't he just say, sir, you're trespassing. That's a criminal offense. I'm investigating a criminal offense. I have a lawful right to be here. You are required by law to show me your ID. If I ID you and there's no warrants, no other reason, I'll probably let you out of here and tell you can't park here. But you are not leaving until I get ID. You're being detained. This is a lawful stop. Please give me your ID. No, this guy, I'll bust your window out. I'll bust it out. You got one more chance. I'll bust it out.
Some IDs.
Okay, we're recording this.
Stop. I will stop.
Hold on.
Why are you being so violent? I need your supervisor.
Let's get a supervisor, please.
I need your supervisor,
Identify
please.
yourself.
I need your supervisor. I am very scared of you.
I am the supervisor.
Oh,
Oh my God. I am the supervisor. I am God. This is my world. You have nobody else to go to because I am judge and executioner. I am the law. I am a hero. I am the blue line. And I'm going to protect and serve the shit out of you whether you want it or not.
do you have a supervisor that's over you?
No, not right now. There is not. No.
God.
Okay, can we get a sheriff out here, please?
I need a sheriff.
No, you don't need it.
Now, this girl's kind of being manipulated a little bit by the guy next to her. She probably wouldn't be doing this. She's pretty much feeding and going off the guy next to her. So I kind of feel a little bit sorry for this woman because she's so freaking weak that she can't make her own decisions. And then she's letting this guy next to her kind of like get her deeper into shit. But I think the woman is legitimately scared of this cop. And again, I think her fear is reasonable.
Sheriff, you're in the town of
Right,
Madison.
right.
You're gonna give me
The sheriff has jurisdiction here,
no.
too.
Give me your IDs. Roll down the window now.
So do you want the ID or you want to roll down the window? Because after she gives him the ID, he's still going for the window down.
What is the reason?
I'm about to bust your window out. Give me your
Okay,
IDs.
that's illegal.
No, it's not illegal. Give me your IDs now.
What is the reason you're asking for the ID?
You got about 2 seconds before a window's getting busted out.
I gotta admit, he threatens like 20 times and he doesn't bust the window out. But he gets close.
Can you tell us the reason?
I'm afraid to
please
put my,
please
I'm
don't
afraid
smash.
to put my hand down. Listen, I'm afraid to put my hand down.
That's pretty smart of her. I don't blame her for not wanting to put her hand down. I'm not sure I'd even want a phone in my hand dealing with these cops nowadays because they're all freaking scared of their own shadow and they're just looking for a reason to shoot somebody for no damn reason.
Because I don't want you to say that
Roll the window down. That's all.
The window's
It's
the window's cracked.
You can put your hand down there and roll the window down.
You can hear us, right?
I'm really scared of you.
So he keeps going to roll the window down. I'm giving you permission to put your hand down and roll down the window. So obviously he's not fearful of her hands. Why does he keep wanting to bust this window out? I don't get it.
Give me your ID.
We're afraid of you.
You're gonna be real afraid. I'm gonna bust
I
this window
already
and
am
drag you out the
afraid.
car.
Why?
So when somebody says they're afraid, you say, you're going to be real afraid because I'm going to bust the window and rip you out of the car. That'll ease their fear. Good job. He missed the freaking de-escalation class. Rick, he needs more training. No, when you hire fucking tyrants and you don't hold them accountable, this is what you get.
Because
What crime?
Why?
IDs, you could be one. I don't know who you are. You're on private property back here. Give me your ID.
Can you tell me what crime you suspect us of committing?
Okay, so he told them they were on private property and he needs some ID. So, I mean, look, the guy doesn't know how to communicate with people. He doesn't feel the need that he has to justify and say, look, trespassing's a crime. You guys have committed a crime by being here. I got a call. I've got to ID you. This is only going to go one way. Either I ID you or I have to force entry into your car to place you under arrest for failure to ID because you've committed a crime, and I don't want to do that. I just want to ID you. He could talk his way out of this, but instead, when all you are is a freaking ball-headed hammer, everything looks like a freaking nail. So all he wants to do is bust the window out.
Cut the car off.
It's cold out.
So now we went from give me your ID to roll down the window to give me your ID to roll down the window to now cut the car off. So what does he really want? He wants to be in control and he wants to rip you out of the car, period.
Cut the car off.
It's cold.
One.
Please don't
stop.
smash the window.
Please don't smash my window. I don't want to reach
Please
down.
stop. Please.
Look at this threatening and this power. Look how much power I have. I'm going to make you scared. You're going to comply. I'm going to threaten and I'm going to intimidate you. And I'm going to, you better listen to me because I am a blue line hero.
Stop. What do you need?
What do you want? Are you?
Can you help?
us?
Can you
help
stop?
me, please.
What is going on?
Please, there's another somebody on your right.
Now.
Can I tell him you can't see?
Yeah,
He's blind.
Roll the window
I
down.
want
I'm
to
gonna
help.
bust it out.
What do I do?
okay, yeah.
Now I see the handicap sticker and they're in a van and the guy later, the passenger says, I'm blind. I don't have a driver's license. Says he doesn't have ID, but he says I'm blind and she says he's blind. If the handicap is because he's blind and this woman is trying to take care of him and her fear is legitimate, that may be why she's listening to him because she doesn't want to, because he can't see. I don't know, but it's just a freaking mess and this cop handles it like shit.
Just a second. Can I give you my? I'll show you my ID. Please don't break.
Now.
I don't have one.
I'm gonna get my ID out.
Got about
I'm getting my ID. It's in my back
Got
pocket.
about 10 seconds.
It's in my pocket. It's
Get
in my
your ID
pocket.
out now.
It's in my pocket.
Get your ID out, sir.
I don't have one. I'm blind. I don't have a driver's
doesn't
license.
have a driver's license.
You ain't got an ID at all?
No.
Well, give me-
I'd rather not hand it to you. I will
Give
show
me
you
the
my
ID.
ID. Come on, man.
So depending on what state they're in, sometimes you just have to show the officer or you have to verbally ID. There's no law that I know of that requires you to give your physical ID. Well, I guess it depends on the state. There may be a state out there that requires you to hand your physical ID to the officer upon request. I don't know.
Give me the ID.
He's threatening to hurt you, so just do what he
Here we go. If I don't get my way, I'll just destroy your property.
does.
Goddamn ID.
So he's got the ID and he doesn't even look at it. He doesn't run the name to see if they have a warrant. He doesn't issue them a ticket. Now that I got one thing that I wanted, I want the next thing. I want the window down. Once I get the window down, I'm going to take your keys and I'm going to rip you out of the car. Even though I told you I'm not. Because the courts have ruled I can lie to you because you're a freaking dumb pesky citizen.
I am terrified of you right now. Can you please step back?
He does not have an ID at all.
No.
Who
He's
is he?
blind. Why would he
Who
have
is
an ID?
Who is he?
Can I tell him who you are?
No.
Why do you need to know who
You
he is?
you can choose to remain silent.
For murder.
He could be wanted for murder. Man, this guy's like reaching. I mean, cops now, they're just all in a pre-crime. Every one of you pesky citizens could be wanted for murder, could have a warrant, could possibly run and floor away, so I got to rip you out of the car. I want the car off because you could run away. I don't want you having a gun because you could shoot me. I don't want you having a knife because you could stab me. Hell, I don't want you doing anything unless I feel comfortable. And unless you kiss my ass, I ain't going to feel comfortable. Welcome to America, motherfucker. What the fuck?
I'm going to choose to remain silent. I'm going to not talk to you anymore.
Alright. You're getting out of this vehicle now.
Oh, you're getting out of the vehicle now. So before I just wanted your ID. Now you're getting out of the vehicle now because you pissed me off. Man, we are so lucky to have good, highly trained background professionals carrying guns out there protecting and serving the shit out of us. Damn, it's just so great.
We're afraid. Can we get the sheriff out here, please?
No, you can't have
Well, you call the you can call the sheriff. Put him on speaker.
How do I call the sheriff?
Just tell your phone to call whatever Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. Ask him to come
Call
out.
Rockingham County Sheriff's Department.
What kind of business is he looking for?
Oh, please, sir.
This woman's a nervous. I hate seeing people make someone nervous and feel powerful and good about doing it. And this cop could care less that this woman's a nervous wreck. I know somebody's going to be here. Well, all she had to do was give him his, all she had to do was follow his, all she had to do was listen to him, Rick. And it wasn't, people, being afraid of freaking cops is absolutely reasonable in this day and age.
Alright. Roll the window down.
Rockingham.
Roll the window down.
Why do you want the window down, sir?
And get out of the car. Or cut the car off, get out of the car.
Why?
Now I want the car off and get out of the car and the window down and I got your ID because you might have a warrant. But now that I've had your ID, I haven't ran it, I haven't looked at it, and I'm not worried whether you have a warrant because I really don't care. I want you out of the freaking car so I can exert my police authority, so I can say you resisted arrest and I can take you to jail. I'll tow your car and I'll show you who's boss. I'll show you whose America you live in, pesky citizen.
Why do you want us out of the
I
car?
gave you my ID.
Any more chances?
But I
alright?
gave you
I'm
my
busting the
ID.
window out, I'm gonna take you out of the car.
I'm calling the
Alright?
sheriff.
Why? We don't.
Where's this cop got to go? He's getting paid. What does he care if she calls? You want to call? I've had people call 911 when I pull them over. I'm in plain clothes. I don't know if you're a real cop. I'm going to call 911. I go, all right, call them. They'll tell you I'm here. Go ahead. I don't give a crap. I mean, it's not, why would you get mad and want everybody to bow down to you immediately? I just don't get the mentality of cops.
Yeah, let's get the sheriff on the phone because we don't feel safe with you here.
Hi, is this the sheriff's department?
Open the door.
I need help.
Open the door.
We're in Madison, in the town of Madison. We have people that are threatening to smash.
This woman is shaking and her hands are up. She can barely talk on the phone. I mean, how can a cop not see that this woman can't be rational when she's working from a position of shaking fear. And he just wants to keep threatening and turning up the heat because he's a man. Dude, I polished my head this morning. It's shiny, and I run this freaking city. It's my city, not the sheriff. You're in my motherfucking town, and you're going to do what I motherfucking tell you, or I'll throw your ass on the ground and shoot you. Welcome to America, motherfucker. What the
Our window. They're saying they're police, but they're not telling us that there's a crime. They're threatening to throw us out of the car.
Okay, so this guy on the passenger is obviously kind of an instigator. Obviously, if you call, I've got a uniform officer. He's being a jerk. He's being aggressive. I feel safe. There's another officer. He could have said that. By saying, I don't know if he's the police and we're being threatened, that's kind of misleading. And, you know, he loses credibility there.
Do you know where you are?
You know what the address is here? Sir? We're on the phone with the sheriff's office.
The address is here?
So they're asking the cop where the address is. Yeah, it's my motherfucking town at the corner of I'm going to fuck you up and break your window and the cross street of your ass belongs to me. That's where you're at. I'm surprised the cop didn't say that.
The sheriff's office has been hearing all this over the radio. We're all connected to
Okay.
the same radio.
We need a supervisor here because
Down the window.
what you're doing is illegal, sir. What you're doing
It's not illegal.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
behind-
It's not.
Madison United Methodist Church in Madison. Can you send a sheriff out here, please?
Any unit near the Madison.
If the sheriff knew that they were out there and heard all the radio traffic, you would think he would know that an officer's already out there with a car. I mean, the cop could have got on the radio, if they're all on the same radio, and say, dispatch, this is 721. I'm out with the car. They're on the phone with you. They're questioning whether I'm a police officer. Tell them I'm a police officer and open the door. They're being detained for trespassing. I mean, the cop could have got on the radio and said that, and he doesn't. He's too freaking worried about threatening and scaring this woman that he's going to bust her window.
Church with a vehicle.
Please help me. He's threatening to smash my window. Please help me.
Copy. You got a party advising they are in distress, needing assistance. What kind of vehicle are you in?
I'm in a van.
It's going to be the party in the van. And they're claiming that an officer
Open
is
the door
asking
now.
them to roll the window down.
Can you tell us why you want us to let the door open?
Cut the car off, open the door.
Ma'am, is it a uniformed officer?
Yes.
He looks like a uniform, but he's being really mean.
Open
He's-
the door.
Okay, ma'am, it's a uniformed officer. What's the name of the church?
Madison United Methodist, but
He's threatening.
What is the name of the church you're in front of, ma'am?
Window out.
it's
Get out of the car.
Madison United Methodist Church in Madison.
Just finding Madison United
And
Methodist.
I'm-
Know the name of the road.
I don't know why he's threatening violence.
Because you're
If
not
you're not
listening to what I'm
complying,
telling you to
then
do.
Well, in some way, I kind of think that she's kind of playing stupid, but in other ways, I kind of think she really is. In her mind, I think she thinks he wanted my license. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't want him in my hands. I gave him my license, and now I don't believe him, and I don't trust him, and he wants the window down, he wants to turn the car off, and he says he's going to rip me out of the car. So her fear and her actions are, I kind of believe that she's really scared and she don't know any better. I mean, I could be wrong and being duped. Maybe she's a professional cop instigator.
probably why.
He hasn't stated any crime or reason for stopping. What's the crime?
Trespassing.
We were on the way out when you...
He just said you're on private property and trespassing. See, he hasn't just taken the time to explain it in my book. He said it, he's covering the bases, he's cutting the check marks, but it's not said in a way to gain compliance. It's said in a way to threaten, intimidate, and you don't have a choice. I don't have to explain it to you. You don't get to answer me questions. Just do what I tell you, or I'm gonna mess up your shit.
When you stopped us.
Can I show him?
Did you not? Do you?
I'm not talking. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
No,
this guy.
we're talking. You're trying to talk to them.
Stop! Stop! Please don't!
Please don't smash our window.
Please don't!
Why do you? Why?
Help! He's gonna break my window.
Ma'am.
Yes,
I've
sir.
got you on the line. Ma'am, listen
Yes,
to
sir.
me.
I'm listening to you, Sheriff's Department.
Roll your window down. Comply with the officer.
We're afraid he's gonna hurt us. He's threatening violence. We don't feel safe.
I don't want him to hurt me. I don't want you to rip.
Look at these cops. Look at this woman shaking with her hands up. And they do not know how to de-escalate this in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's just really, it's sad and it's disgusting in the same light.
Get me out of the car. I'm terrified. Can you step away and let anyone else talk to me?
If you roll the window down.
Why do you want the
Can
window
you step
down?
back and let me talk to anybody else?
The window. We're telling you so we can talk to you.
We're listening. We can hear you.
We're not here to hurt you. We're recording. We're not here to hurt you. I promise. Okay?
Ma'am, comply with the officer.
We're afraid. We're afraid. He's threatening violence
Why are you afraid?
because he's threatening to hurt our car, to destroy our property. We don't feel safe.
This is your last chance.
I'm gonna roll the window down.
Okay, fine.
Last chance.
Yeah.
Stop!
Down.
Please stop.
I can't push it.
Ma'am, if you'll comply with the officer tells you.
What are you doing? We do not consent to any searches or seizures of our property. For what? What crime?
I was trying to leave.
We're trying to leave. How is that trespassing?
Why are you?
Please stop. Okay, just do. Yeah. They're threatening violence.
I don't want to like
So
throw my stuff on the ground. I don't want to throw all my money on the ground.
please don't touch me. Please.
Please don't touch me. The video ends. I wonder if the police said, please, kind citizen, step out of the car, please. Please, kind citizen, we're here to help you. We're going to protect and serve you now. The camera goes blank. Earning the hate, people. When will Americans wake up? We'll end that there.